Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at a game that I've meant to take a look at for quite some time. This is Clock Tower, the original Clock Tower, for the Super Famicom, because this game never got an English release, not even when it was re-released on the PlayStation as Clock Tower: The First Fear. So, this game is a bit of an oddity to me, just kind of generally what it is and what it tries to do. But let's get in here and just kind of talk about it as we go. So I think game start is with the cutscene. Quick start just skips the intro cutscene so that you can get right back into probably dying. And as you can see here, there are quite a few endings to go to. Not that we'll see any in this video, but when I revisit this, if I revisit this, we probably see some of those. Raised in the granite orphanage, Jennifer and her friends. Oh hey, I recognize this music. A lot of people use this in videos. Were wanted as adopted daughters. It happened in September. Felt like we were building up to a drop there and then it just cut off. Is this ominous rumbling supposed to be like some crunchy wind sounds? Also, I believe like all of these stills here were actually photographs originally, and then they, digitally edited them down. Don't worry, it's a very nice place. I'm not going to tell you what kind of nice place. I just want you to shut up and stop asking. You see? That mansion over there, with the clock tower on top. I'm not actually sure if there's any significance to the clock tower part of Clock Tower. My only experience with the series playing it myself was Clock Tower 3, which is a very different game than the other ones. The main hall is gigantic. What a mansion! Alright, so we got these 4 orphans who have all been adopted by the same person at this mansion in the woods. Alright, so here we go. We're in the game, and this is one of the ways that this game seems like an oddity to me. This game is basically a point-and-click adventure game, but on the Super Famicom, SNES. So you're using the D-pad to control this cursor at all times. Now, you do have to click to walk, but there's also, it looks like, if you hit the shoulder buttons, she'll just keep walking in, that direction. So you can use those to not have to constantly click, click, click while, you're being chased. Because this is a game where you are going to be chased. I know that much about Clock Tower. Oh, stop. Okay. There's also a button that stops her. I did look up the controls ahead of time since, you kind of need the manual for a game like this. What do our friends have to say? Is that it? It's kind of... You want to know what kind of guy he is? Yeah. Doesn't say anything afterwards. What about this table? Okay. I'm not sure why I can examine it if she doesn't want to say anything about it. What about these paintings? No? The cursor changes if you can do something. This house makes me uneasy. There's no background music. What about you? Her sprite looks a little boyish from the back, but I think it's just the hair. Lot. Lot or Lottie? I feel like I've seen it pronounced as both, so I'm not really sure what the intended pronunciation of that is. Lotte. Alright. Should we just go through the door? Do they have any more dialogue? Okay, they have more dialogue. Okay. Now we've got background music, so I guess we are the one that's supposed to go look for her. As the protagonist. Everyone just wants to know where Miss Mary is. She's been gone for like a whole 2 minutes. Okay, don't think I can run yet. The shoulder buttons are supposed to have you run, so... Oh, I was like, she doesn't seem to want to go examine the door, but I guess we're supposed to trigger that first. Alright. The girls are gone, the lights are off. This isn't funny. Quit playing a practical joke. I've been gone for like 30 seconds, but you planned this behind my back. Alright, well, we lost our background music. So the other thing to keep track of here is her portrait color. It's blue right now, which I think is full health, but your health is also tied to your stamina, so apparently if you sprint around when you're not being chased, it'll actually go down. You'll have to rest, otherwise you will be prone to dying if you run into a murderer or some of the random events that can happen that also damage you. Okay, that door's locked still. What about the upstairs? Also, when you click on and interact, she will walk, but if you sprint first, you can then click to go faster to a thing. But yeah, so if we run around too much, we have to stop and wait until she, like, kneels down and relaxes, apparently. And that also happens less often if you're in a corridor instead of a room. Again, I did a little reading just because I knew that this game was going to be a bit of trouble to figure out the first time. Alright, let's go this way. Huh. I'm actually kind of surprised that didn't just dump me off, because I was sprinting instead of walking. That seems like the kind of thing a game like this would do. It's just, oh, you didn't know that was there, so you plummeted to your death, or took damage, or whatever. Okay, so I guess we're not getting over there. The other thing I read was that when you are being chased, she's in, like, adrenaline mode, and you can do certain things that you couldn't do otherwise, like climb over shit, and maybe jump that gap? Alright, what about over here? Nope. I guess she can't walk diagonally. Alright, well, no reason to come up here, then. So one of the other oddities about this game is that this came out in 1995 after, almost a year after, because this came out in September, the PlayStation 1 came out in Japan. And again, this game was only released in Japan, so it seems weird that they put out a Super Famicom game so far after the release of the next console, but then I guess that's not really that uncommon. Also, again, different manufacturer, you know, Sony and Nintendo. So I don't remember when the N64 came out, if that came out a bit after the PlayStation. But yeah, I just found that odd. And then eventually, in 1997, this game got the re-release on the PlayStation, The First Fear, which I guess they added cutscenes and such to this. So it might be actually worth checking out to see if that has like a different intro cutscene at the end of this video. Okay, I turned the lights on. Maybe I needed to do that before I go upstairs, but let's try going back through the door. Okay, you don't have to interact with the door. She'll walk up to it if it's on the side. Alright, so I didn't actually have to go in this room. Let's try checking out what's in here. Alright. Just a pile of rubble? Oh. What's she gonna do? Walk up to it and say, "What a pile of rubble." Oh no, she's just gonna climb right up. Is that gonna go right up to the next floor? A pile of trash, wood, and okay. I got something out of that. I was like, if she climbed all the way up there just to say that. The lattice is closed outside. Alright. So we got a rock. You can see there's even the inventory screen. You can hold out a button to pop it up. And then I guess if we could use this rock on something. Is the lattice going to be closed on this one too? It's dark outside. Well, that's helpful. But yeah, so I don't know how much we're going to really see in this video because I don't know what to do. But then again, How Long to Beat says that this game is only 2.5 hours long, but I assume that's like for one ending or, you know, not necessarily knowing what to do. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see a decent amount in 40 minutes or so. Got a box up here. Empty. All right. She did mention the light switch, so let's turn that on first. Maybe I need to do that before I can search anything. How is it now? Still looking empty? No? Apparently it is still empty. Weird that I can search that then. Nothing to say about that painting. What about the TV? Anything good on TV? Looks like it's broken. Or I didn't tune it to a channel. Alright. Oh no. I think the TV screen is making her walk slower because it's more sprites going on at once. Oh. Search the table. Nope. She has no comment on any table so far. She just likes to draw attention to the fact that there are tables. Oh, I should have turned that TV off. She's really dragging. It's completely dark outside. What time is it now? If only we could see the clock tower from here, we would know. Oh, slow into a crawl. Alright, we are out of that room. She still looks like she's walking kind of slow, though. Okay, we got a mirror, a dresser, bed, another bed, nothing in between them. Bird cage that looks like it has a bird in it. Or some pixels. Can't tell if that's actually a bird. A small bottle of perfume. Smells like Miss Mary's. Alright. Well, we got the perfume. How do I look? Well, fine, apparently. It looks like the left bed isn't used. It looks like the left... Oh, okay. Apparently these are one object, because she says the same thing for both. What about the bird? Looks like the left bird isn't used. Is it saying I kill you or I'll get you? Okay. Oh. The bird is harassing me. Now, there's a button you're supposed to hammer when something is attacking you, but that's only when her portrait is flashing, so... Oh. I had to hit the stop walking button for her to stop wandering back and forth. Alright. Throw the sheet at the bird. You don't want to give it like a good punch or something? Problem dealt with, okay. So I took some damage there. I guess we're just gonna... No, stop. I'm gonna hang out here and see if she relaxes and gets her health back. Because it looks like I took 2 stages of damage there. Alright. Wait on the portrait. So, another bit of trivia about this game that I found out. The director of the game, Hifumi Koho, wanted to have this be kind of a love letter to Dario Argento, the Italian horror director. And specifically, Jennifer Simpson here, her design is based pretty much entirely upon a character from the movie Phenomena from 1985, whose name was Jennifer Corvino. And then to add to that, her actress that played her was Jennifer Connelly. So Jennifer played Jennifer, who Jennifer is based on. I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, this is kind of one of the primary games that is considered as contributing to the survival horror template. You know, before it was really considered a genre of its own. So, I think that's the light switch. No, don't turn off the light switch. Bad shit happens in the dark. I'd like to think that, like most birds, because we put a sheet over its head, it now thinks it's night and has fallen asleep. Because that works with actual birds. But yeah, Resident Evil came out not that long after this, so this is kind of one of the later games in that kind of pool of things that became survival horror. Because other stuff like Alone in the Dark came out in like 92, I think the first Alone in the Dark was. So, this was a bit of a latecomer, but it still contributed to what would become survival horror. Okay. I wonder if that music means that something is going to happen. This is the door I came from, right? Nope. This is the glitchy bathroom that appears to be 2 overlapping dimensions. That's probably not supposed to look like that, or maybe it is. The water is running. It looks like a bathroom, sometimes. But yeah, I have a feeling that this is not supposed to be... Even if it is supposed to be, like, fading in and out of existence, it's not supposed to look quite like this. Is that one of the orphans? Lara? Oh, different music. That must be the Scissor Man. I'm aware of Scissor Man. Wow, he's really small. Door, maybe? Alright, so this part, this was in Clock Tower 3 as well. When you're being pursued, you basically have to either find somewhere to hide, or find some kind of object that you can use to attack them with so that it'll slow them down. You know, like a vase to throw at their head or something. But I think if we get far enough away from Scissor Boy here, he won't be able to scissor us. Or casually, slowly walk up the stairs. That works too. But yeah, my only experience with Clock Tower is with the Clock Tower 3 for the PS2, which is a very different game, or at least it's not a point-and-click adventure game. Oh. There's a phone ringing or something. Clock Tower 3 is a much more typical survival horror in terms of controls. You're still fleeing from enemies that you can't really fight, except when you can, which is a little wacky. Basically, you spend a lot of time fleeing from various murderers in different areas, and then at the end of an area, you pull out your magic bow and you shoot the shit out of them in a boss fight. Oh, I hear him coming. I'm trying to find somewhere to hide. I think as long as this music is going, we're still under attack. Oh, okay. So, her portrait was flashing. Oh, fuck. Her portrait was flashing, which means I was supposed to mash the button. I didn't realize right away. Dead end. Well, I fucked that up. So the other thing is, I think this game saves. I think it had cartridge saves of its own. But I'm not 100% on that. There is a continue option on the main menu, though. Also, might have crashed. Not sure. I guess let's see if I can load back in here. So it looks like it did save as soon as we entered this room, so I have a chance to not fuck up my escape. Alright, there we go. Mash the button. And now I guess we just wait and hope that Scissor Gremlin doesn't see us. So yeah, I think I just don't have something configured very well for this, these interior rooms. It seems to be a certain orientation of room that is messed up. Okay, we have escaped him for now, which means he's just gone. Various things are scattered around. I like how the text is sliding back and forth with the floor. Okay, we should probably get out of this potentially epileptic room. It's some broken tableware. Nothing. What about these cans? Can of insecticide. Alright. She wants to pick up one of those. Can I pick up the other one? No. Nothing else here. Okay, I think we got our... Oh, what about this back here? It's a pile of dirt. Some rope. I have a rope here. I can't not think of Barry saying that now. And Jill being like, oh, do you? It's like when people do those compilations of like worst voice acting and they bring up Resident Evil, they don't have that line. They always have the, it's a weapon and it's really powerful, especially against living things. Or you are almost a Jill sandwich. Bird's nest. What if I throw a rock at the bird's nest? No. I think that's how you use stuff. You just use the normal interact key. Okay, apparently I don't have what I need for this bird's nest, so let's go back to the cursor. There is like a rake back there. Oh, okay. Are we gonna get attacked by another bird? Nothing is inside. Can I push it, though? She just kind of climbs over. Nothing inside. Yeah, because I feel like I need to push it up to this wall so that I can get whatever's in that bird's nest. And the bird's there now. Maybe now I can brain it with a rock. No. No. It looked like she was going to do something. What about using it on the bird? No. The bird is not an insect, so I don't think the insecticide is going to do anything to it. You never know with these adventure games, though. And I think some of the puzzle solutions in this are supposed to be kind of obtuse as well. I just wish that I knew if I could make her push this. Oh. How come she just walked by it? Or through it, I guess. I'm not really sure the perspective on that. Okay, so we can't do anything in this hallway, but we did get 2 items. Alright. Now that I'm not being chased, I can actually look around. Okay. And I can't go in that door. There's still a phone ringing. Don't run for too long, or you'll get tired. No, that door's locked too. We got that west wing key. didn't we? Oh no, that was my test run to make sure this was working. Which was... I think it was in that room with the TV. So... I'm not really sure why I didn't get it this time. Clearly my test run did not demonstrate that the floor would be glitching and teleporting in some rooms. Also, another thing that makes this series weird is that, obviously, like I said, this game was re-released on the PlayStation as Clock Tower: The First Fear. But guess what the sequel to this game is called? If you guessed that it's Clock Tower 2, which is also on the PlayStation 1, you'd be wrong, because the sequel is actually just called Clock Tower. And Clock Tower 2 is like a spin-off? So, there are more than 3 Clock Tower games, even though Clock Tower 3 was the last one. Okay, this one opens. So, should I go back to Laura's body now that we're not being chased? Because examining that is what made Scissor Man appear. The door seems to be stuck. Okay, I guess that means I can't go in there yet. No, I'm pretty sure that's a window. Man, these orphans are just dying left and right. Alright. Well, that's 2 down, 2 to go. I guess Lottie is the only one left. Alright, so upstairs was a bust. That door leads us back the way we came. I wish this game had a map. Because the perspective is going to confuse me here. Speaking of... Oh. Let's turn the light on first. Speaking of PS2 survival horror games that I'd like to do playthroughs of, along with Clock Tower 3, I kind of actually would like to do, like, Haunting Ground as well, which is a game that I own and have never really played beyond, like, the first 40 minutes or something. That, Rule of Rose, there was a third one I'm thinking of. Might have been Clock Tower 3 that I was thinking of. But yeah, those are a couple that are games I've never played, but I bought up when the PS2 generation ended because I figured they'd be super expensive afterwards. And Rule of Rose actually was pretty expensive because it gets rare. Dreaded cockroaches. Oh, wait, I have a solution to this problem. Give me control. She won't use the insecticide on herself, she's just running back and forth. Well, that sucked. I mean, I guess it's nice that if you're not being chased, these events are not that big of a deal. It just means you have to, like, chill out. Like, if I just stand here for a moment, she'll go into crouch pose, we can get our health back. Hopefully. I don't know, she went into it pretty quick last time. Does it not count as safe in here? Now that she knows there's bugs in there? But yeah, those are games that I bought up, but never actually got around to playing, so it would be fun to do, like, a blind playthrough of. Oh, the other game I'm thinking of was Fatal Frame 2, which I have played, but I have not played Fatal Frame 1 or 3 or all of the ones after that that were released on Nintendo consoles. Maybe I have to, like, step into the room? Okay, there we go. I don't know if it just, like, hadn't registered I was in a room yet until I moved into the room. The thing I'm not sure about is what the downside of this is supposed to be, aside from making you literally sit here and wait. Because you can kind of do this anytime you're not being chased, and I don't think that, like, Scissor Man is going to bust in when I'm sitting here, unless something scripts him to show up. Okay, let's get up to, what was it, like, blue? No, blue is full health. Green is, like, slightly less than full, and orange is not great. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get past Scissor Man, though, once he knocks you down. I think that's pretty much just instant death, because it doesn't kill you, but then when you're in the red, a single touch will. Which is what happened to me the first time I died there. Yeah, so this part's not great. I feel like if I do end up doing a playthrough of this game, I'm just going to cut out all the times when I'm just sitting here like this, unless I'm talking about something. Because it is kind of a pace killer. Like, I get that it's supposed to be, take a breather. Things are calm now. Nothing's trying to kill you. I do also wonder if this game just runs faster in the PS1 version. Like she walks faster and whatnot. Picked up some ham. Calendar. Today's date is marked, as you might expect. Today is the day we're going to adopt some orphans and then kill them. What's in the spice rack? Some drinks are lined up here. Okay. It's actually a wine rack. Now, what if I try using the insecticide on the cabinet? Will she just open it and get attacked by bugs again, or will she actually use the damn item? There we go. My first successful use of an inventory item. Now we're adventure gaming. Key is left behind. Pocketed the gold key. Okay, that doesn't really help me that much, because I don't know where gold room is. Maybe the door is gold, so that'll make it easier? But yeah, this is neat. It's just a very, obviously, slower pace than, like, your Resident Evils and whatnot. I have seen some of Clock Tower 2, and it's a pretty goofy game. Like, you're in a house, a Japanese house, and the family is possessed. So there's like a suit of armor that chases you sometimes, and the various other family members. It's kind of Resident Evil 7-ish in that regard. There's various different family members who attack you in different ways. But then, like, you get to a hospital, and there are a bunch of, like, comically green zombie men, and you have to beat them to death with a broom every time one starts chasing you. You, like, lure it into a bathroom, and there's an interactable broom that you can use to knock them out. Alright, we got an old-timey car that looks very stylized compared to her, like, normal human proportions. The keys aren't here. Alright. I wonder if that's just one of the endings. Oh, we found the keys, let's just leave. This is a key. A car key. Pocketed the car key. Is it really that easy? They just left the car key sitting in here? Also, I bet that shovel is a defensive item, so I could run here if I was being chased and thwack him with the shovel. I think he really is the only enemy, though. I mean, there's stuff like the bird that will damage you, or the bugs, but I don't think there's anyone else who's actively going to try to kill you on a regular basis. Okay, this is probably a hiding spot. So, should I just try using the car key? That's probably an ending, right? But it's gonna be like, bad end. which is still better than dead end, but the other thing I'm not sure of is if you can rescue the girls in any of the endings, or if they always get brutally murdered immediately. I mean, maybe it's like if you go to this specific room, then they will die, but otherwise they're fine. You know, like, if I hadn't pulled that shower curtain back, she wouldn't be there. She'd be like Schrodinger's corpse. If you don't look behind the shower curtain, she is neither dead nor alive, but both. Both possibilities. Oh, okay, apparently that was the gold room. Right, turn the light switch on. I think the reason we wouldn't want to turn the light switch on is that it makes it easier for us to be discovered if we're trying to hide in here. Looks like a bureau. There's some women's clothes here. This one's different. Picked up a black robe. Use black robe on Jennifer. No, not the door. Alright. I guess I'll try a few other things, and then maybe we'll just try that car key so I at least get unending. And be like, oh look, I beat the game in a first impression. But I think really the draw of this game is you're supposed to come back and replay it so that you can get all the endings. Phone's ringing. I feel like if I answer that, something bad is going to happen, like another pursuit. It seems to have been recently used. Some of the drink is still in there. I guess it's a Nintendo game, so they can't say wine? A silver key is under the glass. Alright. I always feel a little, like, surprised and happy when I find items in an adventure game because I expect that I'm not going to be able to for some reason. It's like, I've played video games, I know how to find items, but I'm like, oh, an adventure game, there's no way I'm going to figure that out. And I guess that's just from the general perception that adventure games are full of nonsense logic that only the designer understands, or at least classic adventure games were pretty guilty of that. So when you solve a puzzle through actual logic, I'm a little surprised. Phone line's been cut. But the phone was ringing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why she keeps saying, like, beverages, is because she can't say it's a wine cabinet. Spooky phone? I think that's just there to mess with you. Alright, so I got the silver key, which should open a different room. Nope. Not gonna answer it. The phone is no longer my problem. So where does this lead, then? Because now I don't know what direction the main hall is in. I thought it was in that other door at the top of that room we just came out of. Okay, yeah, here's the shower. In the insane room. I guess it's only certain rooms that do this. I don't know if there's like a bad bit of the ROM. Looks like the shower is working. Do I want to take a shower after that? I don't have to go right now, which is good, because I don't think I could sit on that phasing toilet. And this isn't even a corruption video. Clock Tower live corruptions. Switch is broken, okay. So yeah, I don't think there was any reason to go back to this bathroom. Corpse is gone. This room is the same. Oh, no, no. Halt. Stop. I don't think you can cancel an action, though, once you've started it. Like, once she's close enough to activate it. Alright, well, I guess we are not where I thought we were. So that other hall looks similar, but is not the same direction. I wonder what direction the clock tower is in. I mean, maybe it's significant because some kind of confrontation will happen there near the end, or near one of the endings. In Clock Tower 3, as far as I got into it, the clock tower itself was some kind of interdimensional space, completely unrelated to this clock tower, I think. It was just like, oh, the game's called Clock Tower, so we need a clock tower in it. Okay, that door's still stuck. So I didn't try going further this way. That door's locked. No idea what key I need for that. So I guess at this point, really my only recourse is to just try the silver key on every door. Okay, let's try going upstairs. I'll try the key. If that doesn't work out, then I guess we'll just take the car and GTFO. But I still think that this is interesting that this came out on the SNES, and odd that they never translated it at all. Especially because all the other Clock Tower games got English releases, it's just this first one and the re-release of it on the PlayStation that didn't. Okay, that's just a wall. I think it was this one that was locked. No, still locked. Seems like she'll use the key automatically. I hope. Okay, the car key is its own item, though. But it looks like the other keys don't go in your inventory. Wish I knew what that rock was for. Okay, that's the gold room. She got tired. No, I guess that's the silver room. What is that warbling sound supposed to represent? Okay, let's take a step in the room. Is that just like spooky music, or is that actually supposed to be something she's hearing? Okay, well, we used the gold key, which got us the silver key, which got me into this room, so there should be something important here with this painting of people worshipping a smoke bird. But I have a feeling that if I do anything important in here, I am going to get attacked. So that's why I'm trying to get up to health before we do that. The music is really just 2 notes. Okay, that's good enough. We don't need to get Ray up to blue. She doesn't stay in blue for long enough. There's a piece of paper here. Hold the demon idol with care. A tree in a forest, a person in a crowd. The idol is on a statue. Oh, okay, that's just her examining and being like, there's nothing here. I was like, was she just having a really delayed reaction to what she read? The mural covers the entire wall. Part of it is hidden behind that shelf. Can I push the shelf? No. I don't know if you can actually push something in this game, or how you would attempt to do that. Time will cause adherence. Clock tower's clock stop. Various chemicals are on the desk. Okay. Yet another thing that she's just like, I don't know. Can I maybe tell her to, if I examine this again, do you think she'll push the bookshelf out of the way? No? Trying to see if there's like a specific trigger at the sides of the bookshelf. Nope. Whatever. I mean, I feel like I'm not missing much of this mural, considering it's just like a guy kneeling behind it. Kind of think that the unicorn staring at the bird is the more important part. Alright, well, we know there's a demon idol involved now, so that's good to know. I believe that demon idol does come up in Clock Tower 2. Alright, well, I didn't really learn anything in there, aside from hold the demon idol carefully. Which, I mean, my instinct would be if something's called the demon idol not to hold it at all, let alone carefully. But I suppose if you needed to hold the demon idol, carefully might be the best way to do it. Unless you, like, drop it and it shatters and releases a demon. A little scissory goblin. Alright. Well, I've got all these items. I don't know what they do. And I assume this is the point in the game where I'd have to run back to the previous area and try using some of my newly found items on previous rooms. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to escape. And if I do a full playthrough of this, we will save that for then. But I do feel like this is a game where a blind Let's Play would have a lot of trial and error. Just trying to figure out what the puzzles are and then how to solve them, because here it's not even immediately obvious what the puzzles are. Like, what would I need a ham for? What would I need a black robe for? Aside from converting the natives. I can get out of here with this car. But the others, well, 2 of them are dead. The other one's probably dead. No, we don't care about the others. What should I do? Can I just keep doing this until she's like, okay, fine, I don't care. Oh, yeah. So if I was insistent enough, she decided to leave. Jennifer never looked back. Unfortunately, she also didn't know how to drive. And slammed into a tree down the road. So yeah, I guess this is just, one of the bad endings. But the fact that she says, the others, does that mean that I could have saved them? I mean, I guess we don't know for sure that they're dead. One girl was hanging in the shower, but, the picture was not clear enough to tell if she was, like, gutted or something. And the other girl got thrown out a window, but that's not necessarily fatal. Especially if there is a pool outside that window. So, I'm sure there's some way to at least interact with them more, even if you can't save them. I like that Friends is just one combined designer. Background design. Really not a lot of team members on here, it seems like. But yeah, I think this is interesting. It's just obviously a bit slow-paced, as you would expect for this kind of point-and-click adventure game. But it's got a good kind of setup, and I can imagine that this was pretty distinct when it came out, even if not a lot of people got to play it because it wasn't available. But it's interesting to see Japanese developers with a specific kind of love for Italian horror of the 80s trying to make games that appeal to that similar style. Because there are kind of like 2 distinct branches of Italian horror. There's like very gore-heavy Italian horror that relies on a lot of, practical gore effects. And then there's the very psychological Italian horror which is where I guess Phenomena and kind of Dario Argento in general fits. I have never seen any of his movies. I would like to see Phenomena just so that I would have a better understanding of how this kind of goes for the similar thing, because apparently even the plot is similar to some extent. Also, this makes me wonder if the orphan girls in that puppet combo game I looked at, The Glass Staircase, if that's a little bit inspired by this as well. And so, Jennifer returned to the orphanage and she said, "Yeah, fuck those people." She was discovered in her room 3 days later, dead. It's almost like they knew where the orphanage was because they adopted you from there. Alright, well, I guess that's Clock Tower for now. I am definitely considering coming back to this, and, if I do a full LP, I will kind of edit down some of the downtime for a game like this, when nothing's happening but me running back to a previous room or kneeling on the floor. But I think that this could be interesting for a playthrough. I might not go for all the endings, but I'll definitely try to go for some of them if I do it. Anyhow, I'm in Shadefire, this is Clock Tower. It's not available in any kind of legal way, so translated fan ROM is all you're gonna get if you want to play it yourself. Take care, everyone.